Hello, everybody, and welcome to TCR Europe here at the Nurburgring. It has been a long break for the summer, but we are back in action and we are about to go racing. Yesterday, the fog was heavy here at the Nurburgring, and unfortunately, much racing could not take place. However, Sunday, the sunshine is out, and as you can see on your screen, the cars are lining up on the grid to get ready to go racing for the very first time this weekend. And after a 7-week summer break, we have got a lot of questions that are going to need answering over the duration of this race. We're going to be racing for 16 laps here on the Nurburgring short circuit. And thanks to having the inability to proceed with qualifying on Saturday morning, we've got a bit of a jumbled up grid. Our grid has been formed by the fastest laps over free practice 1 and free practice 2. And that means that Tom Coronel is your pole position man. Nicola Baldan, that you see here, is second on the grid. What it also means is that our drivers have had very little running here at the short circuit at the Nurburgring, and they have not driven in these particularly warm conditions here on Sunday afternoon. So a lot of these drivers will be heading out into the unknown. What that means for us at home is we're going to have a barnstorming race. I am absolutely sure there's no need to be concerned about getting your car ready for the second race of the day, because this is the only time the TCR cars will be in action here at the Nürburgring. So it is all about the here and now. It is all about setting your times, pushing the car to the limit and trying to score the very best result for yourself and the team as we head into this final portion of the season. After we wrap up activity today, we head over to Monza and then the Barcelona, and then the 2022 championship is over and done with. It is a big moment for many of our drivers. Franco Girolami is our championship leader, but as you saw on your screen, starting from pole position, Tom Coronel returns to TCR Europe action. We've also got some new drivers on the grid as well. Of course, you've seen Pepe Oriola, his second outing for the aggressive Team Italia. So that's another combination that we expect to be much stronger here at the Nürburgring. Oriola, in fact, is lining up on 7th on the grid. So he's expecting a strong result as the season progresses. We've also got the returning Marco Butti, but this time in a fully fledged Come2U Racing Audi RS3 LMS TCR. So Butti now racing under the Come2U banner. 4 cars entered by that outfit. Another driver that is brand new for Jutta Racing is Jonas Karklas. He is a German TCR Germany racer, should I say, making his debut in Europe on a track he knows very well indeed, having scored a podium position in the German Championship. So watch out for Karklas to see what he can do racing at European level. Josh Files had a strong set of practice sessions, but unfortunately for Files, will only line up 10th on the grid, and he's second in the overall championship standing. So lots of work to do for Josh Files. Quick rundown of where our championship protagonists are. Franco Girolami, the championship leader, 4th on the grid. Josh Files, second in the championship, is 10th on the grid. Isidro Callejas, 3rd in the championship standings at this moment in time, starts just behind Files in 11th position. John Philippi is certainly one of our drivers, as you see him on screen now waving to the camera, that is out of position where he perhaps would have expected to be had this been a more traditional, straightforward and problem-free weekend. So Philippi, we expect to move up the order as this race progresses. As I say, 16 laps, potentially extending to 18 should we have a safety car intervention, and nothing, absolutely nothing for these drivers to worry about other than fight to charge forward. Look at the field now. That's lined up. Now the last few bits of work have been done. The warning board to say we are about to enter our formation lap will be raised in a few moments' time. And at long last, we will be in a position to go motor racing in TCR Europe. The wait for everybody has been far too long. The summer break has been great. The drivers and the teams are refreshed. Some of them have been out testing. Other drivers like Mike Halder, who is not on the grid today, has been racing in other national championships. There is one of the Halder cars of Jack Young. Mike, unfortunately, cannot come to this race and participate, having had a clash in his calendar, but his team is represented by Jack Young and sister Michelle Halder. Young lining up on the grid in 3rd position. Michelle in position 15. As the cars start their formation lap then, let's have a look at the running order. Tom Coronel on pole position, Nicola Baldan in second place, with Jack Young and Franco Girolamo rounding out row 2. Joachim Galash in 5th ahead of Felice Gelmini in 6th position. Pepe Oriola, a good qualifying starting position, in 7th place ahead of Klim Gavrilov in position 8. 9th, Mato Homola and Josh Files round out the top 10. There you can see the starting grid and the lap times of the drivers. Again, remember, this has been taken from the fastest laps over free practice 1 and free practice 2. Isidro Callejas is ahead of John Philippi in 11 and 12. Marco Butte in 13th. From our new driver, our debut starter, Jonas Karklas in 14th place. Michel Halder on home soil in 15th. Giacomo Gamande P16. Patrick Singh, another one of our new additions to the series, last time out at the Norris Ring, starts in 17th. Evgeny Leonov in position 18th. And Victor Davidovsky, the last of our participants here today, in 19th position for Come2U Racing. As always, in the world of TCR touring cars, it will be a standing start. So this is our one and only opportunity for these drivers to warm their tyres, to warm their brakes, and to get themselves into a position where they are ready to go racing. It's been a very long day here at the Nurburgring. Inactivity for racing drivers is not a good thing at all, so they will be chomping at the bit to get out there and start motor racing once again. We've had a 7-week summer break, and the next races are all going to be condensed into the same period of time for the run into this conclusion of the championship. So we have got an incredibly intense period of activity ahead of us, and it is imperative for anybody that has designs on improving their championship position to make hay in this race, to set themselves up for the championship running over the final 2 events at Monza and Barcelona at the conclusion of this race. Tom Coronel starts to bring his car into the pole position spot here on the grid. Coronel has been away from the championship, missed the Norris Ring. Last time out, Stian Poulsen took over that car for the Norris Ring event. So Coronel will be very, very keen to return in the best way possible to TCR Europe competition. There is the bright yellow car lining up on its grid spot in pole position ahead of Nicola Baldan. Target competition still unbelievably looking for their first race win of the season, so Baldan will be exceptionally keen to be the driver that secures that spot. I'm just looking out of the commentary box window now. I can see Victor Davidovsky rolling the car into that final 19th position on the grid. When Davidovsky's there, we will be ready to go motor racing here at the Nurburgring. It's been a long wait, but I promise you it is going to be worth it. The green flag at the back of the grid is waved. The lights will all turn red when they go out. We will go motor racing here at the Nurburgring. We are going for TCR Europe at the Nurburgring. Dead set at the front of the field. That's great drag down from Baldan. There you can see Franco Girolamo just showing his nose, but not enough room, fighting aggressively against Jack Young. Good start for Coronel at the front of the field. Contact in the middle. That is Jack Young out of shape, but he recovers the car, then runs side by side with championship leader Girolamo. Both of those cars making light contact. That opens up an opportunity as well for Felice Gelmini to try and find a way past. Looks one way, looks the other way, but not quite enough room for Felice Gelmini. Now 3 wide into the hairpin. Jack Young's the man that runs out of racing space, desperately trying to get back onto the tarmac again. Further down, Gamande and Michel Halder as well, scrabbling for track position. But the target cars are on a roll at the start of this race. A little bit of dust kicked up as well from somebody else running wide. Everybody's so keen to make inroads. Well, that's contact, that's damage. That is damage on Isidro Callejas' machine, the right rear corner. No, it's not, it's Gavrilov. So Klim Gavrilov has damage. The back wheel on the Cupra is completely out of shape, and that looks like potentially the end of the day for Gavrilov. But let's go back to the action as it happens. 4 cars on the exact same piece of tarmac. Another target car shedding pieces of bodywork further down the running order. But while we're we've got Tom Coronel and Nicola Baldan running away from things at the front of the field. Every other car is as one, squabbling for position, but it is Franco Girolami in third, Pepe Oriola for Aggressive Team Italia having a great start up there in fourth position, and there are several cars walking wounded further down the running order. Look at the gap that our front two drivers has, but the drama, the excitement is a little further back. John Philippi in the back of the list. Oriola now comes under pressure from Callejas. Callejas gets the job done. Can he hold on to the position? He runs deep. Oriola now has the outside line for the next section of corners. Too wide. The two drivers, Callejas advantage, holds on to the position, but Oriola doesn't want to give up yet, as we see a little bit further down. That's one of the COM2U cars, and there are two new drivers, Singh racing against Michelle Halder, trying to put a pass on. There we go. Patrick Singh gets the job done, and Carclay's just behind, seeing if he can buy into that fight as well. Oriola again, the man in the heart of the action, goes to the inside, runs wide, just not quite enough rear grip on that Elantra at this stage. Isidro Callejas now back again, side by side pretty much for the duration of the lap. Isidro Callejas has to concede on this occasion. That is advantage. Pepe Oriola and Felice Gelmini and Josh Files all squabbling to get involved in this fight as well. Nicola Baldan, their teammate, remember, is currently sitting pretty in second position. So good start from all our drivers. We said there was some drama, and drama you have once again. Oriola under pressure from Callejas. Callejas does not have enough room at the chicane. It's a very tricky Mickey Mouse chicane here in the Nurburgring. No really opportunity for too wide, but Oriola keeps his power to drive for the final corner, puts the car to the inside line, gets the job done, and now Felice Gelmini contact with Josh Files and Gelmini. Little bit of a brush between the two of them, but everybody manages to continue on, and that now gives an opportunity for Joachim Galash to get involved. This is a Hyundai Elantra drama story that we have here. Can Joachim Galash find a way to get past Josh Files? Not on this occasion. He goes to the outside. That will become the inside, but does he have enough of a run? I don't think he does. And look at Giacomo Gamande, Diamond Trophy driver Giacomo Gamande, having a sensational start, currently running in 10th position and doing everything he can about the cars ahead of him. So Gamande has John Philippi for company, and we'll keep our eye on that one. The Italian driver having an outstanding start to this race. Jack Young and Gavrilov are both in pit road courtesy of the opening lap shenanigans. So Jack Young and Gavrilov, unfortunately, their day is pretty much done right at the very start of the race. We're on the third lap of the race, and contact, that is Isidro Callejas. So Isidro Callejas spun around in the Volcano Motorsport Cupra. Contact on the straight, not enough room for two cars to run side by side, and unfortunately Isidro Callejas is the man, and Michelle Halder on home soil as well pulls to the side of the racetrack. Not quite sure exactly where to look at this moment in time. There are cars spat to the side of the circuit everywhere you look. The yellow flags at turn 3, of course, that will be for Michelle Halder's stricken Halder competition, Honda Civic Type R FK7. So big shame for Halder Motorsport and Michelle Halder. They're out of the race so early in the running. Meanwhile, from the field, Tom Coronel remains the race leader from Nicola Baldan. And look at this fight, headed by John Philippi in 8th position. Marco Butte, as I say, now running in the full COM2U Racing colours, trying to harry the Frenchman, looking one way and then the other, and a little bit further back, that is Victor Davidovski locking up, trying not to make contact further down the running order as well. So Davidovski wanting to buy into this one. Pepe Oriola still in 4th position, and let's take a look at the replay. That is Oriola and Callejas. Unfortunately, Callejas coming off very much the worst of those two runners. Let's have a look again from the front view. Callejas turns across the nose of the Hyundai Elantra, and the only way that one is going to go is with Callejas facing the wrong direction. But luckily, the Spaniard is still in the running, 14th position. The car is still on the racetrack, so Isidro charging on, trying to find a race finish, and that means Pepe Oriola now has Felice Gelmini for company. So the Aggressive Team Italia team against the aggressive Italian driver of Felice Gelmini. Exactly the same cars, different teams, of course. And can Gelmini do anything about the Spanish driver ahead? And Gelmini has got Josh Files and Joachim Galash for company as well. So 4 Hyundai Elantra TCR cars on the same bit of tarmac, and Gelmini all over the back of the Spanish driver's Hyundai. Can he find a way past? Felice needs to be careful now. He needs to bide his time. Any mistake, and you can guarantee Josh Files and Joachim Galash will be keen to pounce and make their way past. This is a absolutely intense fight, exactly what we thought it would be. And Pepe Oriola needs to make hay at this stage. He needs to use this small breathing space. He locks the inside front tyre down in to T1. And Josh, look there, that is John Philippi to the inside. So Philippi and Victor Davidovski going side by side. No, sorry, Marco Butti. Philippi and Marco Butti going side by side. And it is the Italian that currently holds the advantage, but John Philippi does not fancy staying behind that Audi for any longer than is absolutely necessary. And Giacomo Gamandi cannot believe his good fortune. While these two cars squabble, Gamandi has the perfect opportunity to assess where he's faster and slower than his rivals and potentially look to move up from what is already an outstanding 10th position. Tom Coronel at the front of the field, completely unperturbed by any of this drama, is pulling out a nice gap of 2.4 seconds from Nicola Baldan. In second place, Franco Girolamo will be more than content with position 3 as he looks to extend his championship lead and give himself a reasonable shot of securing the title at the next round of the championship in Monza in a couple of weeks' time. Pepe Oriola has every single, seemingly, TCR car in existence trying to climb over the top of the aggressive Team Italia machine. And let's take a moment to review the race start again. We can see Davidovski at the back of the field gets a reasonably solid start. That is our new driver, Karklis, not having a great getaway in the Hyundai Elantra Hyundai i30 and TCR, one of 2 i30s that we've got racing in this field. And there we see Jack Young in the beautiful yellow and blue Honda. Young had a very good start, was very aggressive with Girolamo on the run down into T1. There we go, kissing the rear of the Audi machine. That pushed Girolamo wide, a little bit sideways as well from Jack Young. So Young very much motivated for a good start, motivated to move forward. But sadly for Young, hard contact between himself and Girolamo, and then Felice Gelmini involved in the mix as well. And Jack Young would very quickly be saying goodbye to this competition for the weekend. That is Klim Gavrilov as well, carrying the right rear damage to the Cupra that we saw in the live pictures. So Gavrilov having a good weekend up to this point. Real shame to say goodbye to our drivers so early in what is just the singular race here at the Nurburgring short circuit. Isidro Calles going for a shortcut at the chicane as well, which is often what happens when you have 19 TCR specification touring cars all fighting for the same piece of tarmac and to gain advantage over their rivals. But Coronel, brand new car for Tom Coronel. This car is absolutely pristine for ComTU Racing and Coronel, and he's using that to devastating effect in the opening 6 laps of this race. The Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, lap number 7 has just ticked onto the board. And currently, Coronel holds a 2-second advantage from Nicola Baldan in second position. Does Baldan have enough pace in the target car to close up to the back of Coronel? It's going to be a monumental task for the Italian driver at this stage as Karkles goes down pit road as well. So Jonas Karkles, the new driver to TCR competition on pit road, and Pepe Oriola, just for something a little bit different, has a Hyundai Elantra all over the rear of him, but Oriola performing heroics. A fantastic defensive drive so far from the Spanish driver to hold off the chasing pack, and this is going to be incredibly difficult for Pepe to hold this position. Does not seem to have quite the pace of the target cars behind. Remember, Oriola is still new to the Hyundai Elantra car, having only at the Nurburgring moved over to this machine from his normal steed of the Honda Civic. And there we see a little touch, Jelmine just making light contact with the rear of his rival. But this is touring car racing. If you can't kiss one of your rivals on track, what can you do? As lights are ablaze now from all four of these cars. Joachim Galash for the Yannick Hyundai Motorsports car at the back of this little four-car train, watching, waiting, trying to see if any opportunities present themselves as everybody is going hammer and tongs. Racing for position, young Marco Butte in 8th place for ComTU Racing, holding on gamely at the back of your shot. Marco Butte, a very young and very impressive Italian driver. Remember, he joined the TCR fold for Spa-Francorchamps, his first race outside of native Italy, and Butte continues to impress, now under the full colours of ComTU Racing as Galash goes to the outside of Josh Files, but Files has the line, has the overlap, gives Joachim Galash absolutely no racing room and opportunity, and Galash has no choice but to drop back in behind the Englishman once again, and Files will be feeling frustrated, I think, at this stage in the race. Currently in 6th position, a solid result as things stand, but he needs to move forward, and this is a bit of drama earlier on, so that is Galash. No racing room for you, my friend. Goodbye, get back behind me, know your place. I'm too busy looking forward, says Josh Files, and he keeps hold of that 6th position for now, but we still have plenty of racing left to do. And while they squabbled, there we go, Marco Butte. We were speaking about him earlier on. Closer, closer, closer. If Butte keeps this fresh air, keeps the pedal to the metal, so to speak, very quickly, this 4-car battle will turn into a 5-car charge for 4th position, currently held by Pepe Oriola. Coronel, though, does not care one iota about those dramas, because for him, this has been the definition of a very boring race indeed. In fact, I'm going to interrupt myself for a moment. I did not see this in the live pictures, but Giacomo Gamande is now out of the race. So Gamande, who was having a barnstorming event in 10th position, is now out of the race. Real shame for the Diamond Trophy driver. One of his best weekends of the season ends in retirement. Not quite sure exactly what happened there to Giacomo Gamande, but that's a real shame to see him in pit lane and now to the competition alongside the two Halder cars of Michel Halder, Jack Young and Klim Gavrilov for Volcano Motorsport. So real pity there for Giacomo Gamande as we watch it again. Joachim Galash trying to find a way past Josh Files. This has been the story of the opening laps. Galash seems to now have a bit more pace in the Hyundai Yannick Motorsports car. There is Gamande on pit road, forlornly looking under the bonnet are the Lima Racing mechanics, and that is a real pity for Jacko. Great driver, lovely guy, and he really does work hard with his craft. And 10th position, as I say, very much the best weekend that we've seen for Gamande, but he'll take confidence from that one as we head towards Monza and his home race, so no doubt we'll see more of the beautifully liveried Lima Racing car of Giacomo Gamande as this season comes to its conclusion. But the real attention, folks at home, has got to be on this particular fight. You're looking at Joachim Galash now. The back of his shot looks to the outside for the run down into the chicane. Files has that one covered. It really is a single line through that chicane. And what Galash will look to do now is stay as close as he possibly can into this final corner. Will use the slipstream all the way down the long start finish straight for the run into the Mercedes arena and the heavy braking zone of the tight right-hander at T1. Does Galash have enough slipstream? Does he have enough ponies under the hood? You see Josh Files immediately going to the inside line to protect that inside line. He'll slowly creep back into the middle of the racetrack, giving Galash no room. Galash will try the cutback, but he's just not close enough, and now he's to the outside line once again. Josh Files, very successful, very experienced driver, knows exactly where to put that target car to avoid any opportunities being presented to Joachim Galash. It's going to have to be a bold manoeuvre from Galash to to find a way past Josh Files, but because these two are squabbling, they're starting to become detached from the Pepe Oriola Felice Gelmini charge ahead of them, and they're starting to bring Marco Butti into the story. We had a 4-car squabble. They're getting separated now. It very much is Files versus Galash, but Marco Butti will be desperate to find a way to get involved in this fight before the checkered flag. Patrick Singh, that we're looking at now, in the Hyundai i30N. Singh has Victor Davidovsky for company. Victor Davidovsky, of course, is another one of our Diamond Trophy drivers. As we see now, this is the big moment. This is the opportunity. Contact between the two of them. Josh Files and Jakim Galash make contact. Both drivers just about keeping on the racetrack. Marco Bucci now firmly involved in the fight, but that was aggressive driving from both of the Hyundai men. Josh Files' eyes will be like dustbin lids now, as you once again, Galash, a little kiss to the rear of his same mark but different team. Josh Files, and Files straight to the inside of the racetrack, covering aggressively down into T1. Marco Butti trying to pick up a double slipstream as well. He fancies his chances of getting involved in this one. Can the young Italian have an older head on young shoulders and let these two squabble away and walk through the open door, immediately charging on Galash, but Butti to the outside. He recognises that he's suboptimal to be on that line, drops back again. But Jakim Galash, I said he needed to be bold. That's a little bit too bold. So Galash and Files, as you were, thank you very much. The only thing that's achieved is giving this man, Marco Butti, all the encouragement he needs to get very firmly involved in this squabble. Butti, as I say, now fully under Continue Racing, will be desperate to show his worth to his teammates. But let's have a look again. So Files is the car to the outside on this shot, and Galash just easing across the racetrack. Files are still there, has to go to the grass, very, very dry grass as well, courtesy of the glorious weather pretty much all of Europe has been fielding so far, and that could have been an absolute monster shunt. Two cars trying to go into the space where only 1 3/4 are available, but credit where credit's due to Josh Files for keeping the car on the straight and narrow and unbelievably retaining track position as well. So yeah, Jakim Galash needs to take stock for a moment and have another good, long and hard think about how he's going to find a way past the number 99 machine of Josh Files. And there's a sad sight we never like to see. Retired TCR touring cars, Mato Homola, another one of those drivers that we didn't see in the live pictures, but currently on pit road. So Mato Homola, the teammate to Jakim Galash that we're looking at now, going round the outside, but doesn't, once again, carbon copy of a couple of laps ago, but not quite as far alongside Files this time. So Files covers the line and Galash stays on the racetrack, doesn't need to go into evasive avoiding mode. But Galash, you can see, is working out where the opportunities can present themselves. He's trying to work Josh Files hard, to make Files focus on what's happening behind, to work his car harder than he would like to, in the hope, in Jakim Galash's case, that Files will start to run out of grip, will start to run out of balance in that target car, and that potentially could present an opportunity for Jakim Galash. And Marco Butti watching, studying and learning behind. He'll be satisfied with 8th position. He'll be even more satisfied with 7th, and he will be absolutely delighted with 6th place, and that's Evgeny Leonov that we see into retirement as well. So the number 16 car, another one of our Diamond Trophy cars, facing the barrier, moving the wheel, so maybe Leonov can get the car back out on the racetrack before the checkered flag falls. Hopefully that doesn't cause a local yellow, or even worse, a safety car at this stage, as we see this little squabble still continuing. Just at the back of your shot as well, that is John Philippi, so not quite as much pace from Philippi as we expected at this stage, unable to get involved in that battle. There we go, Weldon Leonov gets the car back on the racetrack once again. So there we go, just very, that's where the circuit breaks away from the Grand Prix track onto the shorter course that we're running here today. A locked inside wheel, ran out of racetrack, but Leonov undamaged, although I'm sure those tyres are very, very tired indeed, but back in the racetrack, currently running 14th position, and the last of our running cars, as Mato Homola hasn't retired, but it's still down pit lane at this stage, and Tom Coronel now has the advantage of 2.9 seconds over Nicola Baldan in second place. Franco Girolamo, very content indeed, thank you very much, holding on to third place. And Pepe Oriola, having survived the early onslaught from seemingly every single car in the field, is currently holding on to a very, very impressive fourth position for his new team. Aggressive Team Italia. Felice Gelmini has dropped a couple of seconds away in fifth place. So Gelmini not really in the conversation for that fourth place fight. The drama, the excitement, the thing that we need to focus on over the course of the next few minutes is the battle that we currently were looking at. Josh Files in sixth, Jakim Galash in seventh, and Marco Butti in eighth position. You can see the gap there between Coronel and Baldan staying roughly the same as it has done pretty much since the opening stages of this racing. Coronel controlling things at the front of the field, got the great start from pole position and just walked away from all of the action behind him. That's exactly what the Dutchman needed to do. Nicola Baldan converting second on the grid to second on the racetrack at this stage, and Franco Girolamo will be more than satisfied to have moved up one position to the bottom step of the podium. But we've still got racing to go, so let us not count our eggs before they have hatched, because there is plenty of things that could happen. And there is Gamandi's car now several laps down, but back out onto the racetrack, so it's good to see whatever dramas, whatever problems that befell the Lima racing machine potentially have been rectified, and Gamandi just going out there and making sure that everything is behaving as it should do before they put it back onto the truck and go for the long journey home back to Italy, as Files still holding position, still holding on to sixth place from Jakim Galash behind. Marco Butti does not quite have the pace, it seems, at this stage in the Audi to really harry the back of these two cars. So it is all down to Jakim Galash in the number 24 Hyundai Yannick Motorsport car to provide the excitement for us at home. That is Felice Gelmini decided that he doesn't want a round rear tyre. He quite like one shaped like a 50p piece, locking up heavily into the chicane, but he manages to avoid that tyre stack and with it hold on to his current fifth place. But Gelmini cannot afford too many of those moments towards the end of the race, because that is unduly stressing the Kumo tyres. That will make the ride quality incredibly difficult and exponentially increase the potential for any kind of tyre dramas in the final stages of this race. So Felice Gelmini needs to be cautious. One man that can't afford to be cautious, though, is Josh Files. We see him just weaving down the straight, trying to break the toe of Jakim Galash behind. It's critical that you do not allow your rival to get the slipstream down this long start-finish straight, because that will pull them to the rear of your car and put the overtaking machine very firmly in the advantage position if he tries to make a move on the brakes to his rival. So Homola still in pit road. One of the cars smoking heavily just past my pit window. Didn't quite catch who that was, just saw the plume of smoke coming from the car, so I'm not quite sure if that's mechanical or there's some kind of rub on the tyres. I'm sure we'll pick it up on the pictures in a few moments time, but this fight is just too good and too finely balanced to take our eyes off at this moment in time. Files having a monster drive so far in sixth position, really showing how to superbly defend, to not make mistakes in a TCR touring car here at the Nurburgring circuit. Files cannot afford to put a single wheel wrong, because if he does, then Jakim Galash behind will pounce, and that will be a position, potentially even two positions lost. So really strong drive from Josh Files, second in the championship standings as things stands at the moment, with just 2 rounds after this one to go. So Files needs every single point he can muster as Tom Coronel, returning to TCR Europe, starts the final lap of the only race that we'll be holding here at the Nurburgring. Coronel, it's been a long time, an incredibly long time for Tom, in fact, because he missed the last round of the beautiful Nurburgring street circuit in Germany. So Coronel returns, and that is the car that we saw smoking. That is Victor Davidovsky. Damage to the rear of his ComTU racing machine. Will he be able to just stroke it home to the checkered flag? Davidovsky currently in 14th position, thanks to Homola being in pit lane and Gamande having lost those laps, having a undisclosed mechanical issue
issue rectified. So Davidovsky racing for points in the Diamond Trophy and overall finishing position. But while Coronel serenely looks away, Marco Butti decides final lap is a very good opportunity to try and find a way past Joachim Gallas. So Marco Butti, the Italian driver for COGS-U Racing, the number 111 machine, does not want to finish in 8th place. He wants 7th position from Joachim Gallas, who's gone from the attacker to the defender, but at the front of the field, through the chicane for the final time, hard on the gas for the run down into the final corner. One last braking zone of the lap of the weekend. Coronel navigates that with no problem whatsoever. Hard onto the loud pedal. The team are hanging over the pit wall. Tom Coronel is a race winner in TCR Europe once again. Takes the checkered flag, and with it the victory from Nicola Baldan in 2nd position. Championship leader Franco Girolamo in a few moments' time will cross the line for that 3rd position. So he does. Pepe Oriola in 4th place. And who is the one that came out of the front of the big fight between the Hyundais? It is Felice Gelmini conceding position to his championship challenging teammate Josh Files right at the very flag. So Files takes 5. Gelmini in 6th. Joachim Gallas just holds off Marco Butti for 7th and 8th. John Philippi has a quiet run to 9th position, and Isidro Callejas rounds out our top 10. And at the very top of the show, folks, I said this one's got all the hallmarks of being a bit of a barnstormer. I'd like to take a moment to say I was right. What a race that was. It's been a long wait, but my goodness, am I glad we waited, because that was fantastic. And Tom Coronel will be the happiest man of anyone at the racetrack. Pole position, an absolutely dominating drive, a checkered flag, and with it, race victory to signal his return to TCR Europe. COGS-U Racing very much delighted with that result. Even more delighted is the fact that their championship leader, Franco Girolamo, stays out of trouble, avoided the danger of the opening laps, and with it takes yet another pole position. So great drive from Coronel. The new car has been born well, and with it takes a victory the first time in the hands of the Flying Dutchman as he comes around the lap and to the podium on the formation. Slow down lap, should I say, sorry. It's been faultless from Coronel today. He was happy to have got that pole position because we missed qualifying due to the bad weather on Saturday. We missed the racing as well on Saturday evening, so this is the one and only race we'll be doing at the Nurburgring. And Coronel, the opportunity presented itself, and he grabbed that with both hands. Nicola Baldan takes 2nd position from 2nd position on the grid. Baldan, a quiet but effective race, made no mistakes, hung on as best he could to Coronel. 2.4 seconds separated our front 2 drivers at the checkered flag. And as I say, Franco Girolamo rounds out the podium positions as our championship leader in 3rd place. So a very effective weekend from Franco Girolamo. And these are our provisional finishing positions. Pepe Oriola, after such an incredible fight, takes 4th place. Josh Files at the line, a swapsy with teammate Felice Gelmini, their 5th and 6th position. Joachim Gallas, very aggressive, great racing from Gallas, 7th at the line. Marco Butti in 8th place. In 9th, John Philippi, and Isidro Callejas in 10th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very happy Tom Coronel going to his team, celebrating. It pained him to be away from the championship due to clashing commitments at the Nurburgring, and he's come back very nicely indeed, posing for photographs as well. There we go, ever the showman. Get the car in shot as well, Tom.
Numero uno.
Numero uno indeed. Great result from Coronel, great result for the team. Goes and celebrates with the TCR Europe staff and his son as well there, and that'll mean a lot to Coronel. He loves this motor racing, does Coronel, and he loves winning even more indeed. There we go, straight to the podium, get the photographs done, and we'll be having an interview in a few moments' time. Great.
Well done, boy. Congratulations.
Brilliant stuff. Congratulations to the teammate. Great stuff. And now to Mark James on pit lane for the interview with Tom.
Tom, winning like that from pole position always looks easy, but it's not.
You know, it looks boring, but just I said to myself, okay, I have to make a gap in the beginning. And then I could see that that Baldan was keeping up the pace, so I was a little bit worried because I could feel the understeer was coming, you know, the slide on the front wheels. But then I saw he was also getting the difficulties. And finally I was being a little bit cautious more in the chicane because I outbraked myself one time. And finally, yeah, you win with the same margin you had after 3 laps. So I think the smart, clever thing of the game was the first 3 laps to go full push.
A very strange weekend because of what happened yesterday, but it didn't put you off.
I'm 33 years in motor racing, and still every year I learn about new things. It happens, you know, these are the things happen. Still we're racing, still we're making the fans happy, and that's where it's all about.
Second win of the year, well done.
Thank you very much, and more to come. Woo! All right, Matt. All right. Huh?
Fabulous stuff there from Coronel, as you say, second win of the year, and becomes only the second driver at TCR Europe to secure himself more than a single victory. The other one being teammate Franco Girolamo. So let's have a look at a few select highlights from what has been a rip-roaring race. We lost a few big names right at the very start, Jack Young, of course, being one of them. But our drivers put on a show for the fans here in beautiful weather conditions at the Nurburgring. We saw overtakes, we saw adventures, we saw mistakes, as you see on the track as well. And with it, we had ourselves an incredible motor race. Thoroughly enjoyed that one, and I hope everybody at home enjoyed the summer break. But now we are back in force at TCR Europe. We have got so many racing events to get through between now and the conclusion of the championship. The fight is firmly in the hands of Franco Girolamo. He holds all the cards. But we've seen so many times in this series, absolutely anything can happen. And these drivers, that man in particular, Tom Coronel, will be desperate to do something about his rivals. Look how happy he is. And let's see the podium celebration now as he celebrates with his team and his rivals.
Congratulations to Marco Butti.
That's a man who's done himself proud as well. Marco Butti, so impressed with that young Italian driver since he made his debut at Spa-Francorchamps.
We listen to the national anthem of the Netherlands. And now we come to deliver the trophies. Handed over by Giuseppe Bandini. The trophy for a third-place driver, Franco Girolamo. Congratulations.
Fantastic stuff, everybody there. So Franco Girolamo, as I say, a very solid day's work indeed, as that championship leader extends the advantage over his rivals as he inches ever closer to the all-important championship success. It means so much to Franco Girolamo. Nicola Baldan has a very, very good drive indeed. The target did not put a wheel wrong. Second on the grid, second at the checkered flag. One of the best events for the Baldan. And there we go, Coronel being given the winner's trophy by his son. It means so much to the whole Coronel clan to take victories. He may be 50 years old, but he showed that he's just as fast as he's ever been, but with it, plenty of experience as well. That is a constructor's trophy there, sorry, the team's trophy, should I say, for ComTU Racing. And then Marco Butti on the podium due to the fact he's the winner of the rookie trophy. So Marco Butti continuing a very impressive start to life in TCR Europe competition. There he is, the Italian driver. Looking forward to seeing more of Butti over the years ahead. And of course, it's got to be the podium photograph from our winners. Everybody looks incredibly satisfied. It's been a very, very long wait, but we are back racing again and spraying the champagne, ladies and gents, is why these drivers do what they do. And look at that, the celebrations. Coronel, I'll go and shake his hand later on. He'll be absolutely soaked in the fizzy stuff, and rightly so as well. A perfect drive from Coronel. He mentioned in his interview with Mark James that there were a little mistake at the chicane earlier on, but that didn't do him any difficulty whatsoever. And 2.4 seconds tells its own tale ahead of Nicola Baldan for target competition. Franco Girolamo, Pepe Oriola, Josh Files, Felice Gelmini being the top 6 runners. Joachim Galash, Marco Butti, John Philippi, and Isidro Callejas, the top 10 drivers. And remember, this is the only race we'll be doing at the Nurburgring thanks to the difficult weather conditions yesterday. So our drivers put on a great show. Patrick Singh and Karklish in 11th and 12th, Leonov 13th, Davidovsky in 14th. And then it's time for some race highlights, to have a look at some of the highlights and some of the drama that has unfolded in this incredible race, this incredible racing circuit. There we go. Beautiful scenes at the Nurburgring Grand Prix short circuit. Aggression and drama throughout the field. We had some great drives from a number of drivers, some of whom just did not manage to convert that into a result. Giacomo Gimandi very much being one of those drivers, but so exciting for all the fans at home. Thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it at home as well. Our apologies for the weather gods not playing to our advantage on Saturday, but we made up for it with a great race here on Sunday. We're back again on the 24th and the 25th of September as we go to Monza, and then the 15th and 16th of October for our final race weekend at Barcelona. I've been Paul Jeffrey from everybody here at TCR Europe. Thank you so much for being part of this programme with us. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Nurburgring, you're awesome. From the commentary box and us all here, thanks very much for watching. Take care and bye-bye.